I'm Zeenab. I'm the communications director at Working Partnerships USA, and we're a smallish but mighty nonprofit that works out of San Jose, and we work on multiple issues, including worker justice, economic justice in the Silicon Valley area, which includes housing and a whole lot of other things. And we've been working with SMT for a few months now. One big thing that we got like pretty early on when we started the coaching is the storytelling guide. We've been wanting to build out our story collection and worker spokesperson training program and just think more deeply about how we're going about collecting these stories and how we can make that process more collaborative and inclusive and really informed by the experiences of the folks whose stories we are sharing. And the guide really offers a lot of insight into that. We've used it more recently while working with childcare providers for a recent campaign, and it felt like we really were able to get to the core of the message and capture their experiences in a way that made them feel really empowered and like they were really like speaking their truth. And it also showed in the final outcome as to how these messages really resonated with a larger audience. Another thing that was really useful was the audience mapping exercise. We did this with our organizers who work on the Gig Workers Rising campaign, which is another big campaign that we do. And it was really helpful to sort of map out who our primary audience is and, put ourselves in their shoes and think through what modes of communication would work, what platforms would be best, what messages would be most impactful. And our organizers also found this really helpful because I think it helped them put on like their comms hats for a bit and think about things that they already knew, but like how that information could be useful. And it helped for us as well in terms of like bridging the gap between the comms and organizing team to think kind of like, okay, how can we actually work together and what is our shared goal with communicating with workers or drivers? David set us up in a really kind of useful, I think it was Miro. And it was really kind of easy to visualize what we were talking about, and sort of it felt like we were really building something together, which was nice. And our next step in that is to engage driver leaders on the exercise, which we're really excited about. Some other things that I think were really helpful is we talked a lot about like social media, scheduling, like different schedulers, things that honestly as like a small team would have taken us days to research and aggregate information. Like he was able to just kind of share a doc with us and kind of get us started on the testing process pretty much off the bat. And just a general thought partnership across, multiple things. There are some coaching sessions which are just like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what we're thinking through, and just sort of talking about that, which was really helpful also because I only been here for a few months. This is a new team. We're kind of like in the process of building out our team. So just helpful to have that thought partnership of someone who's done this several times before. What actually makes SMT specifically different from other consultants, kind of quote unquote consultants that I've worked with, is that he comes from an organizing background. So it becomes really easy for him to like work with our organizers and kind of know like what does like an organization like us, like what are the challenges we face in terms of like adopting new tools or getting folks excited about a particular approach that we want to try out. So that was just really useful. So it wasn't like he was kind of parachuting in and giving us like suggestions that wouldn't work, but everything felt really tailor-made for us. And also just like all the knowledge that he was bringing from like his work with other organizations was really useful for us.